Hello and welcome on my channel. I'm standing here at the trailhead of the so-called Illinois Trail. Illinois, that's a state in the United States in the American Midwest. And why there is a so-called Illinois Trail in the middle of nowhere here in the Odenwald in Germany, I'm going to tell you on the way. Please come with me. In all, there are 4 information boards along the trail that is 10.3 kilometers long and 10.3 kilometers equal 6.4 miles. You simply follow the red cardinal bird that shows you the way. On the first information board you see 11 members of the Greenwald family that emigrated in 1850. In the United States, they translated the name into English, which is Greenwood. And in 2016, 10 family members of the Greenwood family would visit relatives here in Germany, and that was the reason why the Illinois Trail came into existence. Entering the village of Niederklingen, you pass this extremely old linden tree that was probably there when the Greenwood family emigrated. The little triangular sign with the bird of prey tells us that it is a protected nature monument. At the very first farmhouse you see that the inhabitants are still very American-phile. The American banner is still waving in a more or less rural village that is very, very quiet. When I was hiking through it, the streets were almost empty. In 2016, the village had 807 inhabitants. In 1851, when the Greenwood family emigrated, there were 570. Soon you see this sign that shows you the way to the Greenwood farmhouse. It was a perfect spring day when I was hiking there. Do you see the little red cardinal bird? The cherry trees were blooming and the sun was shining. Occasionally there are stops that motivate you to pray and to meditate. In this blue little box there are prayers that you can take out and pray. It is a very Christian little village. All you must do is follow the trail. I'm now about a little bit more than 1 mile in the trail, and I've just left the village following this very pleasant, shady, yet warm, hollow way. And that's very, very bucolic, very beautiful, and very scenic, I think it's scenic, yes. The scenery is fine. It is perfect spring weather. The fruit trees are blooming and the green is very fresh and bright and lush.
after the winter. I'm now on the cemetery of the neighboring village Oberkling, and I wonder how much DNA there is buried in the ground that is related to DNA buried in Illinois ground. Let's walk around a little bit and see if we can find a gravestone with the family name of Grünewald, or Greenwood as it is in English.
The only old gravestone I found is this one, but there is no inscription on it. I did not find a gravestone of the Greenwood family. Most graves were more or less graves from the 20th century. So I also went into the church, which is a Protestant church, also used as the village church, is not just a graveyard chapel. You can still see that it is Easter time, and the church has a neat organ on the balcony. This war memorial is also on the cemetery, names of soldiers killed in World War I and II. Not far away there is a castle, so-called Feste Otzberg or Castle Otzberg. You could walk a detour, but I preferred following the red cardinal bird, and I didn't want to leave trail. I've also passed this old bench in the woods, which haven't been in use for ages, and I kept walking through perfect spring weather. Everything is bright and green. After about a quarter of the way, there is a pub where one can rest. It is a former mill with a lovely beer garden outside. And after the pub, the path, the trail leads you deep in the woods. I saw many wild cherry trees. They were blooming. Wild cherries are eatable but not very big. The drought and storms and bugs have taken their tolls. Unfortunately, the ground is covered with fallen trees, uprooted, a sad sight. Let's pray that we will have more rain this year. As long as you follow the red cardinal bird, you cannot get lost.
I'm hiking through a piece of wood that is simply called the American. Why the American? Well, the family Greenwood had to cut down 15 hectares of wood and sell the trunks to earn the money for the ticket to the United States. Whew. uphill. Yeah. So a lot of work had to be done to have enough cash for the sailing. A lot of work to get seasick. So I'm getting out of breath. I'm right in the middle of the Illinois Trail and I have reached the second information board. I must apologize, I must correct myself. The family Greenwood had to cut down only 7 hectares of tree trunks, not 15 as I said in my previous short movie clip. But still 7 hectares is a lot of wood and a lot of work for the sailing to America. So it's time for a second breakfast. A break fast, a fast breakfast. Fun. I wonder if breakfast comes from to break fastening because you have not eaten all night, or if it's meant to have a fast break. That you begin work maybe at 6 or 7 in the morning without breakfast, without eating anything, and then at 9 you have a fast break, and that's your breakfast. Fast break. Something like that. So, I'm going to eat something now, and then I tackle the second half of this beautiful trail. Always following the red cardinal bird.
The way back was also very pleasant and it was gently downhill.
Well, I have reached the information board, the third one, the third of 4, and I'm also at the edge of the woods. There is another little resting area and a sign in the back that would like to give you some motivation. Hey, motorcyclist, that's nasty. Because the sign says in the wood there is the silence of God, and then you hear the motorcyclists. That's the irony of everyday life. There is motivation to meditate here at the edge of the forest. So that's the trail now behind me. It goes through open field to the little village of Oberkling, and when I'm there I move on to Niederkling.
There is also a lovely pond next to the trail, including a swamp-like area in which one can see a lot of swamp flowers that are blooming right now too. Normal spring flowers, but also the yellow, these yellow, I don't know the English name, these yellow swamp flowers, we call them butterflowers. They need a lot of water. So here that's the moisty swamp area. I got wet feet because I was on watery ground. So back in the village, now in Oberklingen, and that's the restaurant the Greenwood family run today. You can sit outside, there's a cafe, and you can enjoy the village life. Here the village well, decorated with Easter eggs. It's Easter time. Again you see the castle at the horizon, and now and then you can stop at signs that tell you about the birds and nature that you can find along the trail.
I'm close to the car, and I hope you have enjoyed watching this movie. If you happen to come to this part of Germany, feel free to hike the Illinois Trail. And if you have liked that video clip, give me a thumb up. And if you like movies that deal with hiking, with fishing, with nature or with pets, feel free to subscribe to this channel. Oh, I see, there comes the woman I met early in the morning and who I asked way. That's fine. So it's a circle that closes. I'm not going to film her, I don't know if she likes it. She has a 7-month-old puppy. Bye bye.